Well, hello, YouTubers, van dwellers, RVers, full and part-time, wherever you may be in this world. Today we're going to talk about this ongoing issue of homeowners, landowners versus RVers and van dwellers, because it seems like the issue doesn't go away. I know in the last year and a half or so, I've traveled all over. I've been to Hawaii and France, and the homeless issue keeps being discussed in the media no matter where you live. It seems like any city over 100,000 people has this issue with homeless people and what to do with them, especially the van dwellers, the car dwellers, and things like that. So let's talk about this.
This big black cloud is coming down. Fallen angels all around. A warm breeze from the subway underground. The snow is falling heavily over town.
So what got me going to think about this issue is it seems like every 6 or 8 weeks the media is discussing it in my town. It seems the Vancouver Sun, our local newspaper, put up an article on their online edition talking about this and the beach campers that we have on the west end of Vancouver. And they actually also put up a video about it. And one of our own Vancouver van dwellers, Chrome, actually was asked to weigh in on the piece and provide some balance against what the homeowner was saying. Because unless you live in Vancouver, you probably didn't have a chance to see this. And it doesn't matter that you're not a Canadian or living in Vancouver, because the issues are always the same. And it pits two opposing groups against each other. And I really don't know what the answer is. And because it's summer, many of these people are actually tourists. Whether they're domestic Canadian tourists or they're from Europe or the United States, we can't really pick on the tourists that come to Vancouver because they do spend money. To paraphrase the Sex Pistols, God save the tourists because tourists are money. And I think it's very short-sighted to pick on RVers that are tourists that come to our city and spend a lot of money, because they are good for our economy. And as for the City Council of Vancouver and the Mayor's office dealing with homeless issues, I think they are kind of morally and politically bankrupt right now, because the current mayor is not running for re-election, and their party will probably be kicked out, so there's not a lot of political will to do anything about this. It's always the same old story. Politicians tend to kick the can down the road and let somebody else deal with it because they don't have the political will, or at least that's how I see it. Let's get into this debate, and let's hear what this homeowner has to say first about his dispute with people camping out on the streets and at the beach.
Smart people put the rules in place so that people would come down, the public could come and use the beaches, and then they would go at 10 o'clock at night. If they want to come back at 6 o'clock in the morning, great. But for most of the time we've lived here, and for the entire time I've lived in Vancouver, we've always seen those bylaws enforced, and the city has decided not to enforce those bylaws anymore. I think in a lot of cases the city is trying to graft the homelessness issue onto their failure to uphold the parking bylaws. We've had to deal with some people who have been very aggressive. We've had to call the police several times for people yelling at my wife and my son. It doesn't feel very safe at night. There is a large group of them that assemble on Trimble Street. Last night they were all out smoking drugs on the sidewalk, which, even though that's soon going to be legal, it's not really appropriate for our neighborhood.
Now let's hear from Chrome. You may recall him from Vancity Vanlife. He was in one of my videos when we did a little van meetup about 5 weeks ago here in the Vancouver area. And he makes a lot of sense, a lot of great common sense. So let's hear what he has to say about this issue.
No, I've never been hassled by the police parks board. The police have actually been super, super good. I think it just comes with who you are, how you present your home. And you're not going to be a nuisance for a neighbor. You're friendly to the neighbors. You don't leave stuff outside of your vehicle. You know, it's a little different than if you're camped out somewhere. Like if you're camped out somewhere in front of this guy's home, he's going to complain. I don't think it's the city and the parks guys that are the problem. I think it's the guys that are causing a complaint. So the cops won't come and talk to me. Otherwise they would have. One just drove by us. They're only going to come and bother me as if I'm bothering somebody else.
So where do you think the solution lies in solving this problem? It's going to take some creative minds to come up with a decent, sustainable solution. So put your comments down below and let me know. So tell me what it's like in your city, and what do you do when it comes to van dwellers, car dwellers, and RVers camping in your city? So in the meantime, folks, stay safe, keep your wheels in the ground, and I'll talk to you soon. Over and out.